Brazil has always been known to produce quality footballers. I mean, some of the best footballers in the world that we have ever seen come from Brazil. From Pelé to R9 to Neymar to Vini Jr. and now, of course, Endrick, who was just unveiled at Real Madrid. So today, my friends, we're gonna have a little competition between some of the best English Premier League clubs and clubs that reign from Brazil. It is the Champions League, but only English clubs and Brazilian clubs get to participate. Let's find out who would win a competition like that if it existed. Well, it exists today. The biggest 8 Premier League clubs will participate in this competition, and the biggest 8 Brazilian clubs will also participate. Quickly going through the Premier League clubs, one of them, of course, will be Arsenal. Aston Villa will also participate. And yeah, so will Chelsea. We had to throw Chelsea in there. We can't have a competition like this without Liverpool, or Manchester City, or Manchester United. Club number 7 from the Premier League will be Newcastle. And the 8th and final club that will take on some Brazilian squads, it will be Spurs. And the 8 clubs from Brazil will be as follows. Flamengo will be one with David Luiz. Fluminense will be another one. Internacional as number 3. And of course, we gotta have Palmeiras. Say hello to Red Bull Bragantino and Atletico Mineiro. Brazilian club number 7 will be Corinthians. And the 8th and final club that will participate in our England versus Brazil Champions League, it will be Sao Paulo. Now that we know our 8 English clubs and 8 Brazilian clubs, we have to seed them via 2 wheels. The England club wheel and of course the Brazil club wheel. Every group will have 2 English clubs and 2 Brazilian clubs so they can go head to head against each other right off the bat. Let's spin the England wheel and see the 2 clubs that are gonna go into Group A. The first club from England that is gonna go into Group A, is it City or Chelsea? It is City. And to join City in Group A as the second club from England, is it Man United or Newcastle? It's Newcastle, it's not Man United. And now we gotta find the 2 Brazilian clubs that are gonna join Manchester City and Newcastle in Group A. The first club from Brazil that is joining Man United and Newcastle, it is Red Bull Bragantino. And the second club from Brazil that is gonna go into Group A, Internacional. Moving to Group B, the first English club that's going into Group B, Arsenal. Welcome to Group B. And the second English club that's gonna join Arsenal in Group B, Manchester United. There they are. We got Arsenal and Manchester United in Group B. The first Brazil club that's gonna join them is the historic Palmeiras. And also one more Brazil club for Group B, Fluminense. Is it Fluminense? Am I saying that right? Anyways, they're in Group B. Off to Group C, guys, finding the first English club, Premier League club that's going into Group C, Spurs. And the second club from England to go into Group C, Liverpool and Spurs are in the same group. The first club from Brazil that's gonna go into Group C to join Liverpool and Spurs, Flamengo. And one more Brazilian club for Group C to complete it, Sao Paulo. There is only 2 English clubs left on the wheel, and they are Aston Villa and Chelsea. I don't know why I just spun the wheel, but they're both going into Group D. And they will be joined by the 2 last remaining Brazilian clubs, which are Corinthians and Atletico Mineiro. Our England versus Brazil Champions League groups are set, guys. Group A, as you can see, City, Newcastle, Red Bull Bragantino, and Internacional. Group B, Arsenal, Man United, Palmeiras, and Fluminense. Group C, Spurs, Liverpool, Flamengo, and Sao Paulo. And Group D, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Corinthians, and Atletico Mineiro. Now is your chance to predict the top 2 clubs that you think will make it out of each group into the quarterfinals, the last 8. And if you get it right, you gotta hit the subscribe button. Okay, so I want to show you the groups after 2 matches have been played out of the 3, because these groups are so close. It's actually unbelievable. In Group A, yes, Manchester City is on top, 5 goals for, 1 goal against on 6 points. That's probably expected. But then Newcastle and Red Bull Bragantino are like neck and neck. Internacional is unfortunately probably out. They lost both of their matches, but Newcastle and Red Bull Bragantino, they're gonna fight it out for that second spot. Well, in Group B, it's Palmeiras that's on top on 4 points. Manchester United is in second on 3 points. Fluminense is in third, right behind Manchester United, also on 3 points. And Arsenal is rock bottom, only on 1 point, but everyone is still alive. Group C, Liverpool has automatically qualified for the knockout phase already, but Spurs, Sao Paulo, and Flamengo, they're again neck and neck. Spurs on 2 points, while Sao Paulo and Flamengo are all on 1. And finally, in Group D, like I said, like every group for some reason is so close. It's Corinthians on top on 4 points, Chelsea on 3 points, Aston Villa on 2 points, and Atletico Mineiro on 1 point. So everyone still has an opportunity to advance. Like, what's going on here? All the group stage matches are complete, guys. Each club has played 3 games, and this is what happened in Group A. Man City beat Newcastle on the final day. But then Red Bull Bragantino beat Internacional 2-1, which means in Group A, it is Manchester City and Red Bull Bragantino that advance, and Newcastle and Internacional are eliminated. In Group B, and we had even more drama. Manchester United and Arsenal tied on the final day 0-0, while Fluminense beat Palmeiras, which means Fluminense jumped over Man United and Palmeiras and took first spot. Manchester United took second spot, and Palmeiras was eliminated on 4 points, and Arsenal, like, embarrassing. I cannot believe it, guys. 0 wins. Group C, we already knew that Liverpool is going through. Well, they beat Tottenham on the final day 2-0, which gave them 3 wins from 3 on 9 points. But then Flamengo beat Sao Paulo 3-1, which meant that Flamengo eliminated Spurs and dropped them to third, and Sao Paulo also going home. So Liverpool and Flamengo are the ones that progress out of Group C. So far in every single group, it's one Premier League side and one Brazilian side that have advanced. And the same thing happened in Group D. On the final day, Chelsea beat Aston Villa 2-1. You can see that on your right-hand side, while Corinthians drew with Atletico Mineiro, and that meant that Chelsea finishes top, Corinthians finishing on second place, and Aston Villa and Atletico Mineiro on 2 points each, 2 draws and a loss each, both eliminated. So these are our quarterfinals, guys. It's Fluminense versus Flamengo in one of them will be in the last 4. Chelsea will take on Red Bull Bragantino, Man City will take on Man United, and Liverpool will go up against Corinthians. I would think that Liverpool probably has the easiest path so far to the semi-finals. I think it's crazy that in every group we had a Premier League side and a Brazilian side advance, and the first quarterfinal, it is Fluminense versus Flamengo. Fluminense is where Thiago Silva plays. As you can see, he's in the lineup, and he's partnered up with Felipe Melo, if you remember him. Can Fluminense advance, or will it be Flamengo? It will be Fluminense. Yep, it's Jesus, and Jesus. The other Jesus, not Gabby Jesus. The second quarterfinal, Chelsea versus Red Bull Bragantino. Yes, not Red Bull Leipzig, not Red Bull Salzburg, not New York Red Bulls. Red Bull Bragantino. Chelsea, man, can you get to the last 4 of this competition and beat Red Bull Bragantino? Yes, you can. It's through Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer does it again. 1-0 Chelsea. Now, is City gonna lose to Manchester United at home? Well, Man United beat them in the FA Cup final, if you remember that. So maybe they could still do it. It would be a shock. Like 3-0, man. I'm not even doing anything, man. Like, everyone's playing. You guys can see the lineups. Look, and they were all just terrible for some reason. While Joshua Zirkzee scored, he was just absolutely incredible, apparently. 3-0 for Manchester United. Also, Mason Mount apparently is a superstar now. I don't even want to predict what's going to happen between Liverpool and Corinthians in the 4th quarterfinal. It's probably going to be Liverpool, right? It's going to be Liverpool that wins. Is it? Man, this game's giving me heart attacks. Liverpool steals one from Corinthians, eliminates them, but it's only 1-0. So in the semifinals, we only got one team from Brazil left, and it is Fluminense, and they will take on Chelsea, while Manchester United will take on Liverpool. Semi-final number 1, Fluminense with PH Ganso and Silva, Thiago Silva versus Cole Palmer. Who is going to this final? I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. So Fluminense is going to be in our final, and they'll be joined by either Man United or Liverpool, and I kind of hope that it's Man United because I want to see Joshua Zirkzee play, and it is going to be Manchester United. And speak of Joshua Zirkzee, 2 goals. If you're a Man United fan, how excited are you for this guy to come this season to Man United? Joshua Zirkzee and Lenny Yoro also, man, absolutely brilliant last season. So our England versus Brazil Champions League, it will be Fluminense with Ganso and Thiago Silva versus Manchester United. And look at the goal scorers going into this final. Alejandro Jesus from Fluminense, he's got 7 goals in 5 matches. I've never heard of him, by the way. I have no idea who he is. But Joshua Zirkzee, 4 goals in 5 matches. He's up there as well. And so is Marcus Rashford. He's got 3 in 5. Welcome to the Champions League final. We are at the Getafe Stadium. That's where it's going to be held. I don't know why, but yeah, it's Fluminense versus Manchester United for the Brazilian and English club glory. As much as I'm excited to watch Fluminense, I'm actually more excited to watch this Manchester United squad with Joshua Zirkzee, man, and Lenny Yoro. Man United going forward already through Zirkzee. Bro, this kid is actually unbelievable. Fluminense is in the striped kits, of course. Man United is in the white ones. Zirkzee to Rashford. Rashford going forward. He finds Luke Shaw. Xerxes going forward now. Oh, he tries to find the outlet pass to Mason Mount. It wasn't there. Should I be cheering for Man United here, even though I'm wearing a Brazilian shirt? I don't know. Andre. I don't know who to cheer for here. I just like Joshua Xerxes and Lenny Yoro, man. They're good players. I really like them. And I'm not even a Man United fan. I like Bologna. Bologna was a club that I was cheering for all last season. So it's sad to see Xerxes leave. It's sad to see Calafiori go to Arsenal. Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes, that's how you say it. It's not Fernandez. Fernandes. Anthony. It just does Anthony things. What are you doing, bro? Who was that to? Still 0-0 here. Lima. Caligari on the right side. Into the box it goes. Yoro clears. Elias. Fluminense now, man. It's all them. There's Alejandro Jesus. He's got 7 goals. Ganso! He beats Andre Onana. Ganso gives Fluminense the 1-0 lead. Who is this Alejandro Jesus kid? This number 10 that made that pass, man. Plus he had 7 goals. Like, this kid's an absolute beast too. Is he good? Someone tell me. Xerxes on the ball, makes a nice pass to Rashford, man. Rashford messes it all up. United, bro, you guys can't lose this game. Please don't lose this game. I think I'm cheering for Man United. I think I have to cheer for Man United. I don't know. Ganso again. Bro, Ganso is actually insane. I know that he's an absolute legend, and I think he's like 34 years old, right? Like, he's an absolute legend. What a goal. It's 2-0 for Fluminense as halftime is called. Xerxes has been a bright spot. Anthony has been terrible once again. As the second half kicks away, guys, and there's Ganso on the ball. Speaking of Ganso, I know that he doesn't look like that. Like, he doesn't have an afro. I think it's Paulo Henrique Ganso, right? He doesn't have an afro. We got the team's license through Ahmad, but we couldn't get the face's license, so he doesn't. There. Oh my gosh, Ganso, dude. That is Brazilian football for you. Onana, though, what a save. My goodness, what's happening in this final? Fluminense with a corner. Elias Onana, brilliant save once again. Rashford, what are you doing, man? Marcus Dallo to Rashford. Elias, there's Ganso again. Ganso with a step over. Ganso with a shot. Yoro saves the day once again. Yoro's been good in this game. Luke Shaw. Anthony. Nice pass. Eriksson. Drops it off. Mount. There's Xerxes. What can he do here? Uses his big body. Rashford. Mason Mount. Shot. Xerxes. Shot. Blocked by Felipe Melo. Caligari. Ah, it was almost there for Man United. 85th minute. Elias makes a brilliant turn. One-on-one with Onana. Oh, he just puts it wide, and it's missed. Rasmus Højlund is coming on for Mr. Joshua Xerxes, who's had some opportunities, but he couldn't convert in this game. What would you guys like to see? Would you want to see, if you're a Manchester United fan, of course, would you want to see Joshua Xerxes start, or would you want to see Rasmus Højlund start, or maybe both at the same time? Let me know what you guys think about that. As we approach stoppage time, we are in stoppage time. The ref should blow the whistle. There is the whistle. That's the final score. Brazil versus England Champions League. It was Manchester United versus Fluminense, established 1902, apparently a very, very old historic club, and it is Fluminense that win it 2-0. As the Brazilian side comes to collect their Champions League trophy, Manchester United played well. Chelsea also played well. Cole Palmer scored a couple of goals in this video. Nice to see. There is the captain, Thiago Silva, number 6, coming to lift this trophy for the Brazilian side, Fluminense, and they will win the Brazil versus England Champions League. If you guys enjoyed the vid, of course, hit the like button for me. If you have any other cool ideas that you want to see on the channel, please let me know down in the comments. I was thinking that maybe we can do Premier League, but with Brazilian clubs participating for like 10 or 15 seasons, just to see what would happen if the Premier League was half English clubs and half Brazil clubs. Who would get promoted? Who would get relegated? Who would win the cups, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup? And maybe we could look at some European competitions as well. Today, it is not Manchester United. It is Thiago Silva's day. Peace, 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 peace. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Peace.